Now, here's the MLBBro TV show, the best from MLBBro.com with Rob Parker. Let's go.
Welcome to the weekend. There were so many great stories on MLBBro.com this past week. In case you missed some, we'll take a look back. Let's start here. Telly Hughes had a bro combo with former major leaguer Ricky Weeks.
How were you able to overcome the stigma of playing at an HBCU and knowing that you were prepared for the big leagues?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, when whenever you go from one entity to another is, just unknown. I think the biggest thing for me was coming from Southern University was, just trying to be prepared. And I think I was very much so prepared just by competing in practices. We've had, I want to say my time spent there at Southern University, I think we had the most draft picks in all of D1 baseball, I believe in. And I've been going through that process in practice, competing, things like that. And then also playing it with Team USA and from a small school. So competing against those bigger name, the prototypes of the Miamis of Florida, the Florida States, even the bigger D1 colleges. But I was able to hold my own. I think that kind of provided me with some confidence, provided me with that sense of, okay, just because I am at a small college, I was able to, put my talents on display and to provide the sense of confidence to go forward in life, past college baseball. So I think all those experiences all together, those just helped me out.
On Debatable with Mark Gray, former baseball scribe Chuck Johnson ain't buying in the analytics.
Well, I'm not going to come on here and pretend that I'm an expert on analytics and I fully understand it, because I don't. But that's the point, Mark. I mean, most fans really don't, and they really don't care. What baseball really boils down to is what the player himself can do in between those white lines. And that's where I fall. I covered baseball for 20 years on the highest level as far as Major League Baseball for USA Today. And never once when I sat down to write a story, when I sat down to analyze a player, when I sat down to enjoy and appreciate a game, did I think about trying to dissect every doggone statistic, break it down to the win factor, So those types of things came out as a result of Bill James, I think is who they call the father of sabermetrics, which is a name they coined based off the Society for Baseball Research, sabermetrics. And Bill James is so-called the father of sabermetrics. And it's really created an industry in baseball that wasn't there when I was growing up watching baseball. So, this is all totally new to me. And does it add to the game? I don't think it does.
In Black in the Day, former Major League outfielder Gary Matthews Jr. shares a story you don't want to miss.
So I'm going to take you guys back to 2001. I am in my third year in the league. I am in my second year with my beloved Chicago Cubs, an organization my father played for, and it was an absolute honor and literally a dream come true to play for this organization myself. So 3/4 of the way through my second season in August, I was claimed off of waivers from the Cubs to the Pittsburgh Pirates. A month later, in September, rolls around, and who are we playing against? You guessed it, the Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs rolled into town, rolled into Pittsburgh, holding on to some slim playoff hopes, and I think if they lost one more game, they would be mathematically eliminated. So I find myself late in the game, bottom of the 8th inning at the plate, and what do you know, I end up hitting a go-ahead and game-winning home run to mathematically eliminate the team I was playing for, had spent the two previous seasons playing for.
On Brother Broadcasters, David Grubb introduces us to Trevor Thompson. He covers the Detroit Tigers.
What were those lessons that you learned early on that you still apply to your broadcasting today?
David, you said it right there, persistence. You've probably heard this in our business. You're not in our business until you've been fired. So, are you going to stick it out? Are you going to persist? Do you have the guts for this? Because it is a dog-eat-dog business, and it's very competitive, and you have to have a hunger and a passion and a love for what we do, but really that was it. If I was doing news right now in Detroit, I would not be in this business. It's about sports. It's about the passion for sports, the love of the games. It's what I grew up on. Like I said, I watched those guys, Fred Hickman, Vince Cellini every night, any sports show that was on. I remember back in the day, George Michael Sports Machine, all these other things you'd watch, right? Every night, whatever was on, I just filled myself with it, not because I knew it was going to be my future, but because I loved it. So I think just the love and the passion for it is really what carried me through those times, and the persistence and wanting to fulfill the dream and really not wanting to do anything else.
And finally, on Take That, Brandon Carr tells us why Tim Anderson and the White Sox weren't feeling manager Tony La Russa.
Enthusiasts and purists alike have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray by these oppressors and these ancient unwritten rules of the game. So here's the scenario. Chicago White Sox rookie Yermin Mercedes hits a moonshot on a 3-0 pitch in the top of the 9th inning while his team was leading 15-4. His 70-year-old manager Tony La Russa dragged him in the media. He went on to say how the player disobeyed his orders when he told him to take the pitch, calling him clueless. Well, La Russa, black and brown players, they play the game with flair. These old dinosaurs, instead of adapting to the new style of sports, they want to stay by these so-called unwritten rules, which is one of the main reasons why viewership is down in baseball, but they're starting to ascend in other sports. So help me help you. If you don't want to see a guy swinging on a 3-0 pitch while his team is leading by double digits, then put in a mercy rule.
That's our show for this week. I'm Rob Parker. We'll see you again next weekend. And all week long, check in on MLBBro.com for the best coverage of black and brown major leaguers.